If you are investing capital into a state-of-the-art logistics provider while relying on legacy supply chain software to manage it, you are building a high-speed rail line on dirt tracks. Scaling your operations is rarely a simple matter of renting out more warehouse space. As a business grows, the entire structure of how it handles fulfillment has to evolve. This diagram illustrates what we call the logistics tech ladder. Your operations progress from basic 2PL transportation services up through 3PL warehousing into 4PL supply chain integration and finally to 5PL AI-driven ecosystems. Moving up these steps means your organization is shedding the physical burden of moving boxes and taking on the digital burden of managing complex data streams across multiple partners. Upgrading to a 4PL or 5PL provider without upgrading your enterprise software creates a severe data bottleneck. The external network moves faster than your internal systems can process, effectively neutralizing the financial investment you made in the logistics upgrade. To prevent that, we are going to map out exactly which ERP systems, from Microsoft Dynamics 365 and SAP to NetSuite and Epicor, are equipped to support specific logistics models. Because at the end of the day, your underlying software architecture determines the absolute ceiling of your supply chain capabilities. We start at the foundation of the ladder. 2PL providers, like FedEx or Maersk, handle pure transportation. One step up, 3PL providers, like DHL Supply Chain or GXO, take on warehousing and order fulfillment. The operational reality here is straightforward. Your business designs the overarching strategy, controls the inventory logic, and outsources the physical execution to these partners. This flowchart shows how that relationship functions digitally. Your ERP connects to the provider using standard warehouse and transportation modules, relying heavily on electronic data interchange, specifically EDI standards like the 850 for purchase orders or the 856 for shipping notices. When executed correctly, this setup yields synchronized inventory tracking and automated advanced shipping notices, allowing you to fulfill orders reliably without owning a single truck or warehouse shelf. The trade-off at this tier is the setup. Maintaining these connections requires rigorous manual mapping of EDI protocols and barcode structures to ensure your system and your provider system are speaking the exact same language. Fortunately, this level of scheduled data exchange is highly achievable on standard mid-tier ERPs. Systems like NetSuite and Epicor are well equipped to handle these integrations out of the box. Success at the 2PL and 3PL stages relies on transactional data translation. Mid-market ERPs are built explicitly for this kind of point-to-point communication. The jump to 4PL changes the dynamic. Providers like Accenture or Deloitte act as supply chain integrators. They do not move the freight. They manage multiple 3PLs on your behalf. This comparison matrix illustrates the digital divide. 4PL demands live, multi-warehouse visibility and overarching KPI monitoring. Simple, batch-processed EDI is no longer sufficient. You need complex, real-time APIs. This grants you end-to-end supply chain governance and global freight optimization, all while stepping completely away from day-to-day operational management. But it also reveals the mid-tier ceiling. NetSuite and Epicor hit severe functional limits here. Attempting to force a mid-market ERP to orchestrate a global 4PL network requires massive, fragile customizations. Stepping into 4PL forces a transition to Tier 1 ERPs, specifically Microsoft Dynamics 365, SAP S/4HANA, or Oracle. These systems natively handle multi-enterprise data orchestration. Once that Tier 1 foundation is in place, you can approach the 5PL automation frontier, integrating with AI-driven digital platforms like Amazon Logistics or Infor Nexus. 5PL unlocks a highly advanced toolkit: autonomous route optimization in real time, predictive demand planning, and digital twins that simulate your supply chain under stress. The trade-off for 5PL is the entry cost. It requires a heavy financial investment into those Tier 1 enterprise systems and their specific AI modules, like Dynamics 365 Copilot, just to process the incoming data. There is also a major risk regarding internal data hygiene. If you feed inaccurate inventory numbers into a 5PL AI, the platform executes lightning-fast logistical decisions that are entirely wrong for your business. Transitioning to 4PL and 5PL forces the ERP to evolve. Instead of simply recording historical purchase orders, the software must now actively orchestrate the live supply chain. Effective logistics requires alignment. The complexity of your ERP must exactly mirror the autonomy of your logistics provider. This decision flowchart maps the practical paths. Utilizing 2PLs and 3PLs via EDI, stay on NetSuite or Epicor. Upgrading is an unnecessary overinvestment. But for enterprise leaders transitioning to 4PL or 5PL global AI routing, an ERP upgrade is mandatory. These partners require real-time APIs. Before you sign your next logistics contract, audit your current ERP. Identify exactly what it can handle in terms of API volume and EDI complexity. We have linked specific documentation on Microsoft Dynamics 365 warehouse and transportation management integrations in the description below to help you evaluate those capabilities. No matter how advanced your outsourced logistics network is, its execution can only be as smart as the internal ERP data feeding it.